Mana Ole Madness.
Back in the South.
Okay, this is gonna be a little bit different. I'm holding the phone, so I'm sorry if it's gonna be a little shaky. um, this is gonna be a part of Kalai's journey, and so it's in a separate part of our YouTube. It's been a while. We've been trying to do this for a while now, but we've been super busy. So we're gonna take you on like the first set of memories, not complete, but we're gonna try our best to take you through some memories of the beginning of Kalai's journey. Some of you know the background. You know, my husband spent a lot of years in prison. He went from boys home, you know, and all that, just worked his way up to prison. And so he's changed his life now. So what I think is important is, I think his journey is important to share, because there's always going to be at least one person that's out there that if you share this video, maybe they're at that crossroads in their life where my husband was. And if somebody was there to guide them in a different direction, they might not be in a situation they're in today. So I believe my husband's story is powerful. I believe he's powerful. And somebody that can come, if you knew everything from beginning to end with all the details, you would be amazed at how he is today and what he's accomplished, what he's overcome. And just, I mean, it is completely amazing. When I hear it, I'm just in awe of this guy here. You know,
This guy?
that guy.
This guy.
And the fact
Oh,
that
that
he's
guy.
so humble about it, you know, and he doesn't, like, what do you always say? You're not proud of spending 28 years in prison. What do you say?
That just tells you how stupid I was. I was dumb for 28 years of my life, and not including the 5 years that I spent in the juvenile system. If you think there's any kind of glamour in running the streets and, you know, acting like a knucklehead and committing crimes and all that, you're a fucking idiot. You know, I was an idiot. I can say that because I was that idiot. You know, one of the best things I ever learned while I was in prison is that the smart guys that, you know, if you get caught up like that, you learn your lesson quickly, and not to the extent where you will end up spending life in prison, but maybe like a 5-year beef or something, and then you change your life and you're gone.
Okay, so
Anyway.
I'm going to have to turn the camera around, and I'm going to have
Your
him.
car's behind us.
Yeah, so I'm going to just point the camera this way. We are,
Farrington High School.
yes, we're passing Farrington High School. And this is where one of his, I don't know what you want to call
Most
it,
traumatic experience.
most traumatic experience of his life. And I think this story will kind of tell you how, I don't know if you want to say judgmental or how unfair life is. And so, okay, so I'm going to turn it back around. And now he can tell you the story about Farrington High School. So before we get to the next stop, go ahead.
All right, so I was in my sophomore year. 2 weeks into my sophomore year, right? That shot where she showed you where's the auditorium. I was coming across from a food joint that used to sell fried rice, fried noodles, and so I was coming across the street with my bowl of fried noodles, and I noticed, like, when I was coming across the auditorium, in a stairwell was 8 soles. All my classmates, we all grew up together.
If you don't know what that is, it's Samoans.
Yeah. 4th grade all the way to 8th grade. And we had a long history You know, every time we got a fight, they always like mob me, all that kind of stuff. You know, they run in front of my house. My mom tell them, "You guys not gonna mob my son. You guys gotta fight him one on one." And I'm like, I don't even like fight these guys. You know what I mean? But she tell me, no, you go fight them one on one. You know what I mean? It was crazy. So anyway, this one day they was all over there, and I saw them and turned around and walked the other direction. And something told me I was walking down the road right on the side of the auditorium. I was walking down the road and I could tell something was happening. So I turned around and sure enough, they was all reaching down, picking up rocks. Just picking up rocks. I just started to take off and then chase me. And then chase me, come around the auditorium in the front, on the other side, and Junior Corpus, Romelius Corpus is my classmate from when we was elementary all the way growing up, because we both get C in our last name. We was always in the same classes by alphabetical order, and we was always in the same class. And he was like, "Dimon, what's the matter?" I tell him, "Bro, fucking move." I yelling at him, I'm booking him. And they calling to him, talking to him in someone, because it's someone Filipino. Talking to him, telling him for fucking grab me and someone. So when he had his arms out like that, I just plow right into him. And they came and they all employed and we all went tumble right into the office building, the end part. And I was there, and but all I remember is grabbing one guy, taking him down, and fucking punching him, doing whatever I could, and everybody else was beating me up on the top. Okay, kicks, punches, I don't get cracks. The bottom line is I caught cracks. And then this girl, Eleni Spotty, she's Afakasi, she's a red-headed someone girl. I always had a crush on her when I was growing up. She came with her girlfriends, started slapping them, telling them, "Get off of him, you fuckers, get off of him." Then grabbed me, took me to the principal's, not the principal, the nurse's office. Got me bandage up, all kind. I went home. I came to school the next day, and this is what happened. The principal told me that because you instigate that fight, you're getting expelled from school. He kicked me out of school. And I told him, "How come you kicking me out of school? They didn't mob me." He said, "Well, you must have been instigate that fight. So I don't need troublemakers in my school. You gotta go." And I thought to myself, this fucking punk, bro. I am one guy, get 8 guys. How the fuck I gonna pick a fight with 8 soles? So what that taught me was, people in positions of power, they're all corrupt, and they're gonna make an example out of me, right? Okay, so fuck. Right there, I became anti-authoritarian. I was like, okay, my mother is abusive of me. I get this principal abusive of me. Teachers was always abusive. Fuck everybody. Fuck all these guys that stay in leadership. And so I became anti-authoritarian. That was the start. I remember telling myself, I never gonna listen to any of the adults ever again. And that's how I ended up freaking committing to running the streets and doing whatever the fuck I like do, because why? I don't need to listen to nobody. Nobody fucking listening to me. And that was the start of my anti-authoritarian thing right there. That principle, you are the guy that started that.
That guy.
Yeah, 1979, my sophomore year, the principal, he the guy. Yeah.
We could probably research that.
Oh yeah.
You know, I'd like to. I always tell my husband, all the people that did him wrong or didn't believe him.
Camphor.
Okay.
But
yeah, I'd like them to see where he is today. You know, because a lot of him, they had no hope in him, and they made him feel like you're always gonna be like this. You know, so I'd like them to see that people can change. And with the right support, people can make something awesome of themselves. Okay, so where are we right now? So we gotta go across the street?
Yeah, we're right across the street from Camphor Housing.
Okay. So this is where he was living.
So you're carbon.
Okay. You're gonna go inside anyway,
Yeah.
right? So, okay. So he was living here when he was a kid.
So let's go
And
drive around and come right back.
to me, this is one of the most heartbreaking stories that I've ever heard. So I want you to keep in mind when he's telling you how old he is, I want you to just imagine. So this is Camphor Housing, and
Right across the street over there used to be shopping basket, and there was Elsie's drive-in right there.
okay, so let me show
And
you.
this is first bus stop. We live second bus stop.
I'm gonna try and do this.
There was 3 bus stops.
Okay, so you want
Yeah.
to roll down your window so we
Yeah.
can see?
So
Okay, go
building
ahead.
15, the Savusas used to live over here. I used to have a mini crush on the sister. And right there, this is building 18. The Castro's was here. This is where I live right there, building 18G. When I ended up over here, the Tamapurs was here on the end. Old man, Hawaiian old man Manu used to live upstairs. My friend Albert Ufiufi, Tofilio, Ufiufi used to live right over here. His mom and dad and his brothers there used to live over here. Lino 04, if you guys know Lino 04, this is their family house over here. This is we're coming up to the housing office right here. And the gym up there, we was here before the gym was even built. It was just a big empty grass lot. And you know the kind of turtle, concrete turtles and all that?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know that. This is the housing office. This building 26. My auntie Barbara Kalamanem, Herbert Kalamanem, they used to live over here. And this one, Tiger Kahakai, Charles Kahakai, you know the guy that the fireman Kahakai? They used to live over here. The Pimentels used to live over here. This is third bus stop over here. The Pimentels was on the corner over here, Edric and any of them. All the guys used to live over here. This third bus stop.
So you're gonna turn around? Or?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn
okay.
around.
So I'll show the bus stops
Yeah.
when we turn around.
And then also up here in this last row of houses, Ete Mamea, the Mamea family, the Pengais, all them guys used to live over here. Fingalii, they used to live over here on this side. Now coming to the end over here.
Okay.
Hold on.
So this is where he was living. This is the first place that you lived when you and your
You
mom.
notice that Kenya people go up and people turn around for stop.
Yeah. So this is the first place you lived with your mom when you came back to Hawaii?
No, this
No?
is the second place.
Okay.
The first place we lived was Aloha Hotel on Mauna Kea Street,
Okay.
right between hotel and Pauahi.
So we'll probably do a town run one day. 'Cause then you can show like the Queen Street area
Right.
and all that.
Right?
Okay, so I did that side, but I'll show you a better view of this side and I'll turn it around at the bus stops. So this is what the houses look like. Although it's like way nicer now, huh?
This is just
'Cause it's all,
spatial.
yeah,
The actual buildings is still there.
yeah.
They just to put fake looking, nice looking stuff, but that's all facial there. You
Yeah.
punch them, the thing broke, the thing
Hey,
fell
wait,
out.
here's a bus stop, right?
Yeah, right there, the bus stop. This is third bus stop. So if you're from Camp 4, you already know. If you old school Camp 4, you're going to be able to tell me where you guys used to live. You guys used to live first bus stop, second bus stop, or third bus stop. Just like Nanakuli, first row, second row, third row.
Yeah, yeah.
Same principle.
That's kind of interesting though, because it's within the housing area, yeah.
Okay, so this building 26 right there,
Okay.
building 26G.
Okay.
That house, that was my cousin them house. that's where I beat my cousin Herbert Kalama. I beat him for the Pittsburgh Steelers sticker, and that's how I became a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Right there, we in fight right in that front yard right there. I knocked him down and choke his neck, and I won.
All
And
for
so this is
Pittsburgh Steelers
my mom.
stickers.
Over here used to be one hall over here. This office right here, on the right part of the building, used to be one hall, but they converted them into an office space for the housing office staff. My mom used to run she was the clerk for the housing office when the maintenance crew that was on this side, the left side. So all the way up there, the Hawaii's used to live up there, the very top one.
I tell my husband all the time, he knows all these names, and people listening to him are like, okay.
People who've been there know.
Yeah, I know. But majority of us are like, yeah, okay. If you say so. I don't know them, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going
and then
up.
We're going up.
Okay.
So
this is what I was talking about. He's gonna share a memory.
yeah. But let me just share this. Is that this building right here? This is building 18, 19, 20. Building 20. At the end, there was a beautiful Ruiz. What her name? Ruiz. Angel Ruiz.
I don't know.
And she was the lady that made pateles for us. Doubles.
You know how we talk about what do you call that?
Okay,
this
right
is
here.
our spot.
Right there. This is the spot. Building 17A. I used to live right up there. Look at that upward. When you see the video for the documentary, you'll see me looking up there, and look down on this platform right there. So from that corner of the 17A upstairs, right down to this corner, I saw my neighbor cut his wife's heart out right on that concrete slab right there when I was 5 years old. I watched that traumatic experience right there. And at that time, I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. But my mom grabbed me and said, "What the fuck you doing out there? Get your ass inside here." And she beat me up for witnessing that. And
Something that wasn't even your fault.
Wasn't my fault, but I catch cracks for that. And that stayed with me for the rest of my life, which is why I think I'm desensitized to blood and all that, because I seen it right there. It was like, okay, whatever, like, I don't know, I'm a little kid, what the fuck am I looking at, and that was that. This building 13 right next to it, building 13, that corner house right there, that was Augie Toba's grandmother's house. And over here, the two houses down after that, that was the Poor family used to live there. The Hendersons used to live here. The Riveras used to live here. Auntie Stella Waikiki used to live in the back. The Carlisles used to live back there. The Santiagos used to live back there. And what's funny is, over here, never have one. Over here had one building over here.
Oh, yeah?
There used to be a building. Hey, what's up, Bruce? All right. Over here used to have one building over here. That's all different number. This is yeah. That's that time. I used to live in housing. Yeah, I grew up over here. 1967 all the way to 1980, 82.
So I know this is his documentary, but we always talk about paradox, and not just paradox, but like a lot of times in my life or his life. I mean, we've only been together for 6 years compared to our entire life, right? But there's a lot of times when we share stories now that he tells me this is what happened at this place, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've been there,
Yeah.
And I've had like different memories, complete opposite memories, because that's not what I did there. And so it's interesting how life does that.
With you. So
okay.
This corner house used to be the Dion family, Paul Dion, Alex Dion, and over here, this building right there, you see this? stairwells right there. So the boys, Etemamere, used to drink over here. And then when the cops would come, they would bean the cop. One cop would come in and they would bean them with the kind baby Miller bottles. And so when they would call the rest of the cops, they would jump over, never had that blockage. They would jump over and they would dig out.
Okay, so anything else you're gonna share?
And over here was Gonzalez. The Gonzalez over here, the Cosco's family used to be here. And then my mom lived, when I left home and my sister left home, my mom moved to up here, building upstairs over here. And then the Fatels. The Fatels used to live on the building right next to this. Used to have a building over here. And that was the Fatels used to live here.
Okay, so
And then over there, building 4, used to be the Manessis family. Auntie Violet Manessis used to change my diapers. Right there.
Okay.
And the Keys used to live up there, building 5. Yeah, alright, that's the...
Okay, so
And then
we
we're coming up
just
to
left.
Kalai.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to our next stop.
Yeah, we're good to
But
discuss with the
we're-
show.
Okay.
Right there is Kaiwa Elementary School. This is where, because of this school, this is how I ended up learning my moko how. I'll explain that in a second. This is a gym over here. We used to, okay, Fa'atea was the man for the gym. They should name the gym after him, because he was always in the gym. Fa'atea. He was always there. This is Dole Intermediate. Now it's called Dole Middle School, but it was Dole Intermediate when I was growing up. And over here too, I got kicked out of the 9th grade because I was on bad boy. And coming down over here, Joe Aquino, my good friend Joe Aquino, that you guys know him. He used to live down here, Camford Road, in the back over there where the egg farm used to be. And this bus stop over here used to freaking have plenty fights over here. This gas station over here on this side used to be Arco.
We'll make everybody dizzy.
Yeah. Right there is where the Sergeant Joe Self.
Okay.
Everybody knew Sergeant Joe Self back in the day. That guy, he was the guy that would beat up the kids. Once you reach 14, and you a knucklehead, he's the guy that can regulate you and let you know you ain't shit. That's the guy right there. He even beat me up over there and bust my nose with the butt of his gun. I was handcuffed in the back of his car because I was drinking. I came over and my mother called the cops because I was drinking in the house. And so he ended up grabbing me over there because I had on 766 Crossman pellet, BB and pellet repeater. And so I was drunk. I don't know what the hell I was doing, but fuck, next thing you know, but fuck, I came out of the store, 272 Stadium. I came out of the store. This freaking guy, he had his gun drawn and told me, drop the weapon. I was thinking, what weapon? I only got a BB gun. Drop the fucking weapon before I shoot you. So I drop him. He come over there, slam me on the car, handcuff me, fucking take me up, put me in the back of the car, go pick up the stuff, throw me in the back of the trunk. Came back over there and told me, hey, you a fucking punk, eh? And then fucking bust me in the side of my nose over here. And bust my nose. Fucking, I was all cracked. Okay, so over here, Myron Richardson, they used to live on this building. This is Hawiki housing. This is yeah, we're gonna come back down.
Sorry if I'm making
And
you
over
dizzy.
here was the Stanleys. Uncle Stanley, Bo Stanley, them and all that. Used to live over here, Hawiki housing.
Okay, I'm just gonna show you.
Yeah. And then we're gonna come up here. the Silver family, Corey, Wendy, Silver, them used to live up here. They moved from Camford to move up here. The up around the corner over here, I remember I had the family, the Reardons, used to live in this house. Oh, getting Coco Red Raider flag over there. And then you come up all the way up to the top. And then you're gonna have my auntie's house. On this side, used to have the Marfields over here. So some of Marfield's husband's family used to live over here.
Oh,
And my
wow.
auntie Helen used to live in this apartment right here. That apartment right there on the left, right hand side was my auntie Helen's house.
Mm.
And we could walk from the back of our house, walk down the mountain and go walk to Camford Housing. So that mountain connects us and Camford Housing. And used to have one girl, Pumpkin, used to live over here, black Puerto Rican girl. I used to like her. Yeah.
You had crushes on a lot of girls, huh?
And then this was, look at this basketball court. Not even a basketball court anymore. It's on dump.
It's a dump.
But this used to be a basketball court that everybody used to play basketball. My cousin Floyd them used to run ball over here. And this pavilion right here was brand spanking new when Mylani Richardson, I'm not Mylani Stanley, when licked me right over here. I
that's
was
the
sitting
place.
on that cell, so I was making trouble to her. She snatched me by my afro and started hooking me in my face. I got dirty lickings from
By a girl.
Mylani Stanley over there.
By a girl.
By a girl. Yeah, I got dirty lickings for her. The Stanley girls are tough buggers, boy. And I mean, I was just some punk kid. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was catching cracks. That's what I was doing. I was catching cracks. I'm not afraid to admit it.
So you was just catching cracks from everybody.
I was a punching bag, but for a lot of people.
But that's what I mean, though. It, like, you know, yeah, so he was a punk kid doing punk things, but, you know, I think when people know that, they use that to their advantage, like the principal, right? I mean, you know, it's easier to punish one kid that everybody knows is a punk rather than punish 8 someone kids, right? And deal with their families. So you choose the one kid, not realizing that that kid you chose, you changed his life forever, and how he looked at people that could have helped him, you know, and guided him in certain situations, right? And so, you know, I want people to think about that too.
That's the kind Fort Shafter back gate right there.
Yeah, I used to pick up my dad from here. I used to go all through Fort Shafter. But, you know, it's what you do, right?
Yeah,
with
I love you.
It's like people say, oh, if you had magic powers, what would you do? You know, you could use that power. You can do good or bad, right? So when you're a human being in authority, why not use it for good, you know, instead of bad? Because everything in life has good and bad, and it's about balance. And so the spot that I was trying to say, the spot that he described when he witnessed at 5 years old his neighbor cutting his wife's heart out, I didn't know him until 6 years ago. It was probably 2 years prior to that. I was volunteering for a group called Valoha Giving Movement, and we did a lot of outreach and for a lot of the housings, yeah. So a lot of the housings, we would do Christmas giveaways and stuff, and feed, you know, have a food set up and all that. I didn't realize until I met him, and he took me to that spot to tell me the story, just like we're telling you.
By the way, you know you're in Kalai when you're coming from
Jesus
the west
coming
side.
soon sign.
Jesus coming soon.
I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, so that very spot that he witnessed his neighbor doing his, the thing to his wife. That exact spot is where I was standing doing food service and gift giveaways to the people in Camp 4 housing. And I didn't know him. And so when he showed me the spot, I was like, wait a minute. That was a traumatic experience for him. But for me, that spot was good because we got to give gifts to the kids and it was amazing. They were so happy. We got to feed everybody and they were so grateful. But, both spots is exactly the same spot, but his memory is completely different than mine, right? But it's just amazing to me that we were both in the exact same spot in different times and we didn't know each other. So there's like parallels. That's the word I was trying to think of. There's a lot of parallels in our life.
Right.
And it was different experiences, and for him it was mostly bad and for me it was mostly good. So it's interesting how the universe does that and puts these two complete opposite people together.
Yeah. That's touching through time.
Yeah. So that was our first journey through Kalai's life. It's not necessarily in order, but those are significant moments in his life, and they were, close enough to where we could continue the video without stopping and, having a long pause. So the next time, where do you want to go next time? What do you think?
We can go downtown, Hotel Street, all the cross streets and all that.
Okay.
I can show you all around over there.
Okay. So next time we're going to do a downtown trip.
Yep.
And he can tell us all about that.
Yep.
And we're going to walk him through all his life. And then sometimes we might just be parked somewhere and he can just tell stories about things. Because a lot of things aren't there anymore. because these are stories for what? For real back in the day.
Back in the day. It always blows my mind when I hear these kids. Oh, back in the day, they 17, 18, 19. Back in the day, what's that? Like last week? 2 weeks ago. Okay, back in the day, bro. It was like fucking 40 years ago. 50 years ago.
That's the real back in the day, huh?
For real.
Okay, so I'm going to cut this video and then we could do another one, maybe just our regular Mana Ole Madness. But this is part 1.
Love, peace, and happiness, yo. We out of here.